Hello all and welcome to the IACET 2020 Inaugural Conference. My name is Jessica Bird and I am the Coordinator of Accredited Provider and Affiliate Services here at IACET. I'll be your host this afternoon. I wanted to take a second to personally thank each and every one of you for taking the time out to join us over the next few days. We've got exciting opportunities for you to be engaged as well as networking and wonderful presenters. Before we kick off our first day of the conference, here's a word from our Chairman of the Board, Andrew Kauser, as well as our CEO, Casandra Blassingame.
Good morning. On behalf of our Board of Directors, staff, commission, and council, welcome to the IACET 2020 Inaugural Virtual Conference. Thank you for being here today with us as we launch this event for the first time in history of the organization. I'm Casandra Blassingame, and I have the privilege of leading IACET as its CEO.
And I'm Andrew Kauser, IACET Board Chair. Welcome.
Before we get started, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all who have generously helped us make this event come together to become a success. We could not have done it without you. I'd like to begin by thanking our sponsors and partners, Platinum sponsors, Site Safety LLC and Thought Industries, Silver sponsor, Remote MD. Our partners, the American Association for Adult and Continuing Education, and William Rothwell and Associates. All sponsors and partners are located in the exhibit hall. Please do take a moment to visit to learn more about what they do and what they have to offer. Last but not least, the rock and roll IACET staff. I can't begin to tell you how incredibly hard they all work to produce this event. We hope that you have as much fun today as we had putting it together.
By attending today's conference, you are demonstrating your passion for the continuing education and training industry. We know that you could have registered for another conference or chosen to be anywhere else today. We thank you for being here and are elated to have you as partners. In January, the Executive Committee met to develop IACET's 2020-2021 strategic plan to submit to the Board of Directors for approval. The focus is on strengthening the overall customer experience. Over the next year, we have begun to implement an aggressive 5-part strategy through 2021 to achieve the following goals. 1, increase IACET's brand awareness. 2, strengthen our stakeholder engagement. 3, provide products and services that support the accreditation process. 4, acquire and retain customers. And 5, expand IACET's footprint worldwide.
As the developer of the ANSI IACET standard for continuing education and training, IACET has established itself as a thought leader in the continuing education and training space. We have solid relationships with our IACET stakeholders, accredited providers, and affiliates. Our staff values those relationships and is committed to extraordinary service that goes above and beyond. Commitment is not something that only occurs. We have an awesome staff who in all small and large matters live by basic values such as the customer first, integrity, commitment, mutual respect, collaboration, corporate responsibility, and simplicity.
With that said, IACET's mission is to improve the quality of continuing education and training worldwide through accreditation. Our vision, to enhance the global workforce. Historically, we have been known as the International Association for Continuing Education. It was also during the strategic planning session that we were discussing our identity. Who are we? We determined that we're not an association, but an accrediting body that and that our name should be reflective of that. So today, we announce the name change. We are the International Accreditors for Continuing Education and Training. The change of our name was the first step in enhancing the IACET brand. We believe this change better defines who we are and what we represent within the industry as a standards developing organization for you.
As an accrediting body within the ever-evolving field of education, we are strongly affected by developments nationally, abroad, and within the global economy. Our customers must be able to provide quality continuing education and training to their employees through different facets of global change. IACET's role in this is key. Within the unique global challenges that have presented themselves this year, various platforms in education have taken on a very different look. There are concerns on every level whether this evolution of change is one from which we can all recover. At IACET, we believe that we will show great levels of tenacity and persistence to overcome the challenges before us. We will continue to provide leadership and a framework for continuing education and training organizations to use for building and rebuilding training that will create a competent and capable global workforce. This conference is an example of the many exciting developments IACET has in store. It is our pleasure to bring this program offering to you whether you are back in the office, sitting in a coffee shop, or viewing from your home office or couch. Enjoy yourself, engage with us, and again, a very warm welcome.
Thank you, Andrea and Cassandra, for that warm welcome to the IACET 2020 Inaugural Conference. How exciting is it that this is the 50th anniversary of the CEU, and even more exciting that we're now the International Accreditors for Continuing Education and Training. Let's keep up that momentum with a quick word about our Instagram photo contest.
Hello all and welcome to the IACET 2020 Virtual Conference. My name is Alexa and I'm the Coordinator of Accreditation and Training.
And my name is Jessica and I am the Coordinator of Accredited Providers and Affiliate Services.
During the conference, we've got some fun opportunities and chances to win some cool prizes through photo contests, trivia, and engagement raffles.
Starting from today until Friday the 25th at noon, we invite you to participate in our Instagram photo contest.
That's right. We're looking for the best of the best in 3 categories.
For the first category, we want to see who has the best view. Funny or gorgeous, you decide, at those luxurious new home offices.
And what would the first category be without the second one of show us your new coworkers, those adorable fur babies, or those 2-legged noisemakers, otherwise known as kiddos, that now get to keep you company during work.
And last but not least, we want you to go on a mini scavenger hunt and represent that IACET blue. We want you to find any blue item in your office and balance it on your head. Because we know COVID's been such a balancing act, what's one more thing?
And we would love for you to head to our brand new Instagram page to find out more details on how to enter.
The winners will be announced on Monday, September 28th on all social networking platforms. But be on the lookout for us to go live with the big news. Get those cameras ready. We'll see you there. Wow, those photos are really going to be a sight to see. Don't forget to head over to our Instagram to get involved. We know sometimes tech can be hard to navigate, so our Vice President of Information Technology and Organizational Effectiveness, Randall Bowman, is here to guide us through. Randy?
Hi, thank you all for joining us. We're so excited to have you with us, and we're so excited about our new day and our new year as the International Accreditors for Continuing Education and Training. I think it really tells us who we are and makes it much more clear what it is we do. Thank you all for your commitment to quality continuing education and training, and thank you for joining us. So this is our first virtual conference, and I just wanted to take a few moments and make sure everyone is comfortable and familiar with our platform for today. So we are using the Zoom webinar feature. And what you'll notice is at the bottom of your screen, a nice black box. And this is your webinar control panel. This is how you can manage and control your Zoom webinar experience with IACET. So the first button we have all the way on the left is audio settings. The audio settings button will allow you to adjust how you are listening to the webinar. There are no microphones in a Zoom webinar for attendees, and no video in a webinar for attendees. So you can't turn your camera on and off, and you cannot talk to us unless we give you permission to do so. However, you are listening, and if the sound becomes draggy or whatever, you get some hiccups in it, you may want to switch to one of the telephone options, and you can do that by clicking the little up caret by the word audio settings. We have opened up our chat for you guys to use today. So please click the little chat button, and you can talk to us and talk to your other attendees. Just want to point out though, just in case some of are security conscious or privacy conscious, you can click to either talk to just us as the panelists, the hosts, and the presenters, or if you pull that little drop-down box, you can talk to all the panelists and all the attendees. Just be aware that that we can see your name and we know who you are. Why don't you go ahead and jump on into the chat box and say hi to us. Good morning to you. Now, the next button you'll see is the little raise your hand. This button during the question and answer section, if you would like to verbally ask your question, you'll be able to click the raise your hand button, and we can then unmute you or give you the ability to unmute yourself so that you can ask your question verbally. Sometimes we might also use the raise hand feature to do a quick straw poll. So if you can see the raise your hand button, please raise your hand and let us say hi to you. Oh yeah, we got tons and tons of hands coming in. Thank you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower everybody's hand. And if you're excited about our name change and the future of IACET, raise your hand. And dude, we got it coming in. So looks like close to 85%. So thank you guys. We're real excited as well. The next button you'll see on your screen is the Q&A. So this is the question and answer box. It's a little bit different than chat. So chat, go and talk and chat amongst yourself. If you have questions for the panel, for the presenter during any of these webinars, go ahead and put these in the question and answer box. At the end of the presentation, one of our staff members will moderate the questions and ask the questions that we've collected during the presentation to the presenter. So when you open up the box, you'll just type your question into the little question area and click the send button. If you would like to protect your privacy, you can click the send anonymously button, check mark, and then no one will know who is asking the question. Just remember, there are no stupid questions. We want to hear them, and as continuing education and training providers, we know that questions are a bedrock for great education. So please make sure you ask your questions so we can get answers for you. Now, sometimes we'll just type the answer in, and you may have seen that happening already. And if we just type in an answer, you'll see it appear below your question. Other questions we're going to set aside to ask to the presenter at the end of the presentation. And finally, I know this is a button you will not use, But if you do need to leave to exit the webinar, the big red leave button will quit the webinar, and you'll enclose your Zoom webinar section. So that's how to use GoToWebinar, or I'm sorry, Zoom webinar. Most of you did get here today, so that's good. You did that through our annual conference dashboard. The annual conference dashboard is going to be your guidebook for managing your conference experience over the next 2 days. As you can see, the schedule is listed there with little join buttons by each item. You'll be able to enter the sessions approximately 5 minutes prior to each scheduled start time. Now, I know everyone always asks this question, so I just want to let you know we are recording the sessions, and we will post those recordings right there at that dashboard by September 30th, so that you can come back and view this material later. You'll also be able to share those maybe with colleagues who didn't have the opportunity to attend today. Now, if at any time during the next day and a half you have any technical difficulties accessing a link or with your Zoom webinar experience, just contact us at info@IACET.org, info@IACET.org, or you can chat with us online at our website, www.IACET.org. Now, most of our sessions are Zoom webinars, but we do have some Zoom meeting sessions set up as well. Most of those will be this afternoon. So in the Zoom webinar, obviously your camera's off and you can't interact with your microphone, and you can only engage with us through the chat and the question and answer box. During our Zoom meeting sessions, your camera will be able to be turned on, and you will have your microphones, and you'll be able to engage. And to tell us a little bit more about our engagement activities this afternoon, let's go and hear from our engagement team.
We're back, and this time we brought along our social media expert, Erin. Remember earlier when we mentioned those exciting activities for you to participate in? Well, we're here to give you a tad bit more information so you can really join in on the fun. Grab a pen and paper and jot this down.
Well, our photo contest is ongoing until this Friday, September 25th at noon. Come join us today for some trivia at 1:45. Now, this trivia is a little bit different than what you might be used to. We're covering topics from music and animals to geography, as well as testing out your IACET knowledge.
The winner will be announced at the close of the trivia session, as well as later on today in our It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere networking room. The winner receives a prize basket as well as IACET bragging rights, of course.
Because we know you've spent the past few months stuck to that office chair, grab some comfy clothes and from 2:30 to 3 today, join us for some afternoon Zumba.
To finish out our day of fun, we want to give everyone a chance to mingle with like minds. From 3 to 4, we have a few different networking rooms for you to join at your leisure. I'll be heading the Millennials in the Workplace room, where all of us young professionals have a chance to share our experiences as well as offer tokens of wisdom.
And if you're not a millennial, but you're quite the jet setter, come join me in the travel room. This room is for folks who have had their fair share of adventure and want to swap fun stories or even tips and tricks for those travelers in training.
Trivia doesn't have to stop at 2:15. If you're a trivia buff and are up to the challenge, join me in the trivia room.
During this time, we also want to open up the space for our new accredited providers to chat with some of our more seasoned vets. You will have the opportunity to ask all those burning questions only an experienced provider would be able to answer. This room will be led by none other than our CEO, Casandra Blassingame, as well as our Director of Accreditation, Ty Kelly.
So to close out our first day of the IACET 2020 virtual conference, join us in the It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere networking room at 4, where all winners from raffles and previous trivia rounds will be announced. Also, you will have the opportunity to cross paths with other professionals you might have missed in the earlier rooms. We look forward to seeing you there.
We look forward for you guys to join in our engagement activities today. Don't forget to go to our Instagram page and get some more information about the rules and the guidelines and the hashtags that we're going to need you to use as well. That contest, once again, does end Friday at noon. We'll announce the winners on Monday at 2 o'clock. So that's Monday, the 28th at 2 o'clock, and it ends Friday, the 25th at noon. Joining us again is our chairman of the board, Andrew Kauser. Welcome again.
Hi, welcome. Can you hear me?
We can hear you perfectly fine.
Great.
So Andrew, how do you feel about having 195 registrants for this first ever virtual conference for IACET?
Well, clearly it's wonderful, and to have such a great turnout for our first virtual conference, it speaks really well to the overall engagement we see day to day out of our stakeholders, and just as important, those folks who are first learning about IACET and interested in the standard. You know, we've seen a significant increase in interest in the ANSI IACET standard, and I think the registrations for this event reflect that. You know, I also believe that the IACET staff has put together a great session and series of sessions for this event, and I'm sure that's driving interest. The keynote, which will be coming up shortly and introduced shortly, should be of great interest. Certainly, I just went through the process actually of looking at and vetting a whole slew of different learning management systems for a client I was working on behalf of, and somehow I wish I had known about talented learning before that. So I think it's a combination of everything. I think the sessions that we put together, and more importantly, just the interest and excitement within the IACET community for this event has been overwhelming.
Thank you so much for those kind words, Andrew. We definitely been working hard here at the IACET office to make this as enjoyable as possible for all of our stakeholders and participants in our conference. Is there anything else you'd like to say to our stakeholders?
Well, I mean, there's a lot that can be said, but most importantly, I'd like to thank everyone for their ongoing support and dedication to IACET. Being that IACET's primarily volunteer run, we could not achieve half the success without the support of our stakeholders. The work we do as accredited providers, council, commission, individual task forces, the board, it helps us meet our mission. And that's really to set the standard for quality education and training worldwide. So big thank you to everyone who's in attendance, those that may not have been able to attend, but really do support IACET. And for those that are considering accreditation by IACET, for helping spread our message, we really do appreciate it.
Thank you once again, Andrew.